Hello, everyone. My guest name is Ken Hoppe. He's the founder and CEO of Modigie. Prior to this company, he spent 20 years in various tech leadership roles with 2 exits and most recently at Google, experiencing firsthand the widespread shift to mobile for business communications. They built real-time mobile phone verification and enrichment platform on Google Cloud Platform to scale and recently integrated with Salesforce so B2B sales and marketing can connect with more of their prospects. Ken, you ready to take us to the top?
You bet.
All right. So give us the load on here. This sounds like an enterprise-related tool for mobile. What am I missing?
No, it's certainly our typical clients are B2B that have a lot of front end call center reps called BDRs or business development reps that do business to business outreach with net new prospects. And so what we saw back in my time at Google is that there was a continual decline of the ability to engage with people that we don't have relationships with. And so email has lacked and people have shifted to the LinkedIn channel. And we saw that everything was moving mobile. In fact, Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google at the time, all of our advertising was shifting to mobile. We looked around the office as sales leaders. None of us had desk phones. So the epiphany was, no one has a desk phone. Let's just make that assumption. And so we stumbled across a study by IDC and then the Boston Consulting Group, and they really confirmed what we thought is that 8 out of every 10 business professionals use their smartphone as their business phone. So we thought, okay, well, let's find a data provider that can provide us mobile business phones for our targets, and we couldn't find that. And so that
Wait, what does that mean, Ken? Mobile business phones for our targets?
The cell phone number for our prospects.
I see.
Yeah. So we do 2 things. So one of the other thing that we wanted to address is particularly for tech, people change jobs a lot faster than our parents did back in the day. And so what we often find is BDR reps that are doing large volume outbound are oftentimes chasing or pursuing 10 to 20% or more of the prospects that don't even work at the target company. And the only way that they would know that is if an email bounced. So they're calling landlines and chasing people. And so we wanted to address that productivity as well.
I see. Okay, got it. That makes sense. So what are brands paying you on average to use your technology per month?
Right. And so we've been modeling a little different way. So we're a consumption-based business. So platform fee plus consumption. So think of it as if you're using our services. So each API call or each request, we charge a credit or decrement a credit.
Yep.
Right now, we're averaging about $1,000 a month per client. And the exciting thing for us is that we're starting to see companies that are legging into our business model are consuming those $1,000 a month within 3 to 4 months.
Well, so Ken, break that down for me real quick. If someone's paying you $1,000 a month, how much of that is a platform fee versus the consumption fee?
Only $1,000 is the platform fee.
Okay. Oh, so they pay consumption on top of that number of API calls.
That's right.
They buy credits or something.
Yeah, absolutely. So they pre-buy credits in the way that we do a traditional model. So we do a capacity plan. How many of these API calls do they need? How many phone numbers do they need for their outbound on a projected annualized basis? And then we come up with a business model, and we do net 30 payment terms or spread out payment terms, and then they consume over time. Over that 12-month period. What we're seeing is, of course, with the pandemic, there's a shift. No one's really working in the office, and studies show that no one really wants to go back to the office.
Yeah.
So our clients are consuming those 1 month or those annualized credits in a period of 3 or 4 months. So they're already re-upping their contracts.
So this would reflect itself in your expansion revenue metric over the past 12 months. I mean, I assume you're above 100%. How far above 100% in net revenue retention?
Well, it's still early. I'll give you some context. So our first line of code was really in 2019.
Okay.
And we wanted to create this automated rule or automated workflow of how to enrich and validate mobile numbers. And so we first did that in Google Sheets. It's a wonderful tool. And so we first wrote our line of code in late 2019. So really, I look at 2020 as our first really billable year, and we came in just a hair under 300,000.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
was that cash collected or run rate in December?
Bookings.
Bookings. Got it.
Bookings, yeah.
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 So you were doing something like what, like $35,000, $40,000 a month last month?
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Across how many customers?
So we came in at shy of just 29 customers. Now we've got a range. The company's transitioning right now from API. So so we went from Google Sheets, which we were doing really batch jobs for marketing and sales. So those are really not true ARR contracts, if you will. They were project based. And everybody's been waiting for our Salesforce managed package so they can consume us within Salesforce and set up all these wonderful automation rules that are native to Salesforce. So, for example, when new leads or new prospects hit the CRM, we automatically make a call to Modigie and do two things: verify the employment and get a mobile phone number. And so we're basically finalizing the security review process with Salesforce to have that available to our customers. So we have about 20 pre-sold contracts for the Salesforce managed package of Modigie.
That's great. And just to be clear, you had no revenue in 2019, right?
We did not.
So $0 to $300,000 run rate in 12 months. And what do you think you can do at the end of this year? What do you think you can grow to?
Well, the difference will be, I wish I had a crystal ball. I mean, I know the following. When you automate a process, everything goes smoother. So the Salesforce managed package through automation is going to dramatically improve both the ability for our clients to consume Modigie, and at the same time for us to have a higher consumption, which will mean, as I described to you, a higher fulfill rate.
Yep.
So,
yep.
I'm modeling it for over 1 million, so it'd be a 3x growth. But it's all about the Salesforce managed package and the market for Salesforce. So the clients that we're servicing are.
Ken, how did you get those first 20 clients? Walk me through that process.
Yeah, old school. It's brute force. So a couple things. Again, when I was at Google, I ran a team of hunters. And so what I recognized back then, I applied today. So we absolutely incorporate mobile into our omni-channel outreach. And we basically, our business target, our marketing operations, sales operations, chief revenue officers, VPs of sales. And so it's just primarily we started in Silicon Valley. And the beauty is our first wave of customers were our own doing, and then word of mouth spread. So we have some luxury of having reference customers.
So those first 20, 29, it was really cold outbound, basically. Get the 100%. Cell phone numbers of the CRO, call them, and close them.
100%.
Interesting.
And some of the network, Nathan. But no one was gifting. No one was giving me a freebie.
Yeah, of course. Now, have you bootstrapped this or raised?
100% bootstrap.
Oh, I love that. Very cool. Now that's surprising. I mean, if you were high up you probably had all kinds of people saying, "We'd love to give you a check. Whatever you do, Ken, next. If you're leaving Google, we want to do it."
We have a lot of people that want to give us checks. So I have a business partner, Keith LeClaire, and he founded a company. And our ethos out of the gate was, listen, the environment we work in today, you can actually build something for 1/10 of what you did in the past. So our application, all in, probably is just under 300,000. 5 years ago, that might have been a $3 million. Yeah, that might have been a $3 million build. Our capital expenditures are low. We don't have to lease office space. So we looked at it and we said, let's prove out a model. Let's control the company. Keith's former company, he grew from himself to 120 million in revenue.
Wow.
With zero funding. I think the opportunity is big enough we'll eventually take some VC funding. But
how much have the two of you put in together so far? Minimum 300K, it sounds like.
Yeah, the beauty is it's a very profitable business. So we rolled in. We had co-founded another company prior, a company called First DFX, and we rolled some of the money in. So we probably only put in about $100,000 total.
And what's the team size today?
So we have 4 full-time, and we have with the advent of Fiverr and Upwork, we have because we're Google Cloud and Salesforce and Python, it's really easy to add and subtract contractors. So at the peak, when we were doing full-blown GCP development, platform development in GCP, Google Cloud, and full-blown development in Salesforce, we had 10 full-time.
Got it. How many engineers?
10 developers.
Oh, sorry. So sorry. There's 14 people on the team, 10 developers.
Yeah, at the peak.
I see.
And then we rolled off people as we hit milestones on the product.
So how many engineers today?
We have 6 that are full-time.
Okay,
Contract.
Got it. So 10 total people working 4 full-time, 6 engineers that are part-time.
Yeah, I've got one head of technology who is full-time, and then we have 6. He's 100% Google Cloud, and then the Salesforce development team is 6.
Mm-hmm. And do you have enough history yet to know what like gross revenue churn and expansion looks like?
It's early for that. I mean, we lost some customers we lost some forward customers due to having a delay in the Salesforce managed package. So we submitted our managed package back in October to go through a security review, and with COVID, everything was delayed. So what normally would take 2 weeks has taken almost four months.
Yeah, interesting. And if I ask, so ignoring revenue for a second, how many API calls hit your system last month?
We don't track it on API calls on a month, but on our run rate business, we're looking at so for example, on a daily basis, we can see anywhere from 1,000 to 10,000
across your 29 customers.
But it's a cosine curve, right?
Point being, though, you have somewhere between 30,000 and 300,000 API calls going through your system each month. And that's important because you bill based off consumption across the 29 customers.
Right. I would not say it's 300,000 yet. It's closer to 20,000.
30. Yeah.
And that really reflects a request. I want a prospect's mobile phone number.
Yeah. Interesting. And one API request is one mobile phone number.
We have some microservices. So the primary 2 services that people are coming to us for are employer verification and the validated mobile phone number. We also, I have a text earlier today from a large company. It's about a $30 billion company that has, they want us to look at the totality of all the phone numbers that they already have in their CRM.
Yep.
To determine are they landlines or mobile phones. So they're positioning it as, we can't reach anyone on landlines, so let's understand the landlines and then fill everybody else with mobile phone numbers.
Yep, makes sense. Ken, let's wrap up here with the famous 5. Number 1, favorite business book.
Geez, I'm old. It used to be Crossing the Chasm, but it's Horowitz's Harder Things.
Yeah. Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
Big fan of Jeff Lawson at Twilio.
Number 4, how many hours of sleep are you getting every night?
My Fitbit says about 7.
7. I skipped 3. What's your favorite online tool for building a business?
So anything collaboration, I'm going to narrow it down. So the Google G Suite of tools has been phenomenal.
Yeah. Number and what's your situation? Married, single, kids?
Married with 2 daughters.
2 kids. Okay. And how old are you?
52. I'm an old guy to start companies.
Yeah, old. That's prime time, baby. Last question. What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
It's just solving finding a business problem and just taking action sooner on an obvious business problem.
Yep. Makes sense, guys. Modigie helping especially teams doing outbound, make sure they've got accurate mobile information on their prospects. He did this because he learned it. He was doing himself inside of Google. Ken Hoppe's going from nothing to $300,000 in ARR in a little under 12 months. 29 customers right now as they look to scale. Bootstrapped, which we love, and profitable. 10 on the team, 4 full-time, 6 are sort of part-time engineers as they look to scale. Ken, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you, Nathan.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers. They try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.